Hey there, guys. I am live today. If you don't know me, my name is Renee Collins. I am a certified public accountant, and I am also certified as a financial planner, and I am the founder of a company called Retire Ready. Retire Ready is a firm that works with families as well as business owners, helping them to save more, invest smart, and build wealth by developing a healthy relationship with their money. So, for those who don't know me, or even those who do know me, you may be asking yourself, like, wow, Renee's been going live a lot lately. And you are right, because I actually have a deal with my accountability partner that I would go live 6 times before July 15th. So this is my fourth live, and I have two more. So I have two more that I have to do between today and Monday. So today, what I want to talk about actually is I ran a 5K race. I ran the Big Ten, what is that? I think it's the Big Ten 10K race, but I did the 5K. And what I was thinking about is that there were some lessons learned in running this race. I had this conversation with my brother today because I was trying to figure out, what am I going to talk about on my live session today? And I decided, I was thinking about the race, and I started thinking how running a race can be parallel to managing our money and personal finance. So I came up with three lessons. My brother helped me to kind of flesh these out today as well. And the first lesson is a little bit of a story, because after I finished the race, I went over to the Ohio State alumni booth. Now, I'm not an alum of Ohio State, but my son is. And so I was really running the Big Ten race to represent Ohio State and represent my kid. And the gentleman asked me, he said, well, how did the race go? And I said, it didn't have to be so hard. And the race was hard to me because I didn't prepare for it. I just thought, I'm just going to go out here and I'm going to run. And I didn't prepare for the race. And so when I finished the race, I was a little bit disappointed in myself. I finished it, so I was happy on the one hand that I got through it, but then I was disappointed because I knew that I could do better. I knew that it was in me to do better. I used to run, and I used to run, 8, 9 mile, not mile, no, what is it? 8 miles per hour, 9 miles per hour. So I used to used to run at a pretty decent clip. And so today my race was 14 miles per hour. That was kind of like my pace. So it was a run walk pace is what it was. And so I was a little bit disappointed because I knew that I could do better, but I did not prepare. And the point of that is that it's the same thing with retirement. So I started thinking, what do you want retirement to look like? And are you preparing for that? And if you don't prepare for your retirement, what are you going to get? What are you going to get? What is that going to look like? Are you going to be happy with the results? Most people are not. I can guarantee you that, is that if we don't plan for it, we don't plan for life, you know, you're going to get whatever life brings your way. And that's how I felt about that race today. I felt that in the race that I got what I planned for, because I didn't really plan for it, you know? And so that's going to be the same thing with retirement. So I encourage people to plan for your retirement. So think about what it is that you want retirement to look like and plan for that, so that you don't have to take whatever life brings your way. And in planning for retirement, that destination, that end result, that big, hairy, audacious number that you may need for retirement, take that and break it down. Create milestones for yourself. So if you tell yourself, oh, you know what, I need $1 million to retire, on the surface, that may seem like a lot of money. And it may seem like, oh my goodness, that's not attainable for me. But if you plan for it and you say, okay, you know what? By the time I get to 40, I want to have this X number of dollars. By the time I get to 50, I want to have X number of dollars. And then just kind of reverse engineer that back into that and figure out how much do you need to save today in order to get to that number in the future, you know? And if it's not retirement planning, maybe it's just saving for an emergency fund. Put an emergency fund in place for yourself, you know, saving $50,000 today, you know, to get to 6 months of basic living expenses. That may seem like a pretty big audacious goal. But if you can take that and break it down into milestones, break it down into, you know, maybe I'll save $1,000 today. And then I'll save $2,500, and then I'll save $5,000. Create milestones for yourself along the way. So take those big goals and break them down into small little chunks. I remember when my son, he was an athlete in high school, and when he would get overwhelmed with all the things that he had to do, you know, I would always tell him that the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. And it's the same thing with our financial goals. Managing money can feel really overwhelming, but if we can take our goals and take that situation and just deal with it on a piecemeal basis. Start with small tasks. Do the small stuff first, and then just keep working your way towards the bigger things. Okay, so just something to remember. And I think, again, when I think about the race today, it was hard because when I used to run, I used to have an app that used to tell me when I got to that half mile marker, when I got to that mile marker, and then the mile and a half. And I didn't have that today, and I didn't prepare. So it made it hard to pace myself, and it made it difficult to figure out how much further I had to go to get to my destination. So having those mile markers in place is very important. The other lesson that I would say that was learned today too is run your own race. We live in this world where everyone has social media, everyone has access to what everybody is doing in their lives. And we can get on social media and get drawn into somebody else's life and start feeling like, oh my gosh, this person is doing great. They're doing this and they're doing that, and I'm missing out. And then we start to get these feelings of FOMO, fear of missing out. You know, I'm feeling like I should be doing more, I should be doing more, I should be doing more. And it's interesting because when I ran the race today, you get to the starting line and the gun goes off and you start running. And I'm running, and I know I'm not really prepared, so I'm a little bit slower than than everybody else. And then all these people just start passing me by and just passing me by and passing me by. And I'm feeling like, oh my goodness, I need to run faster. I need to run faster. I need to run faster. But then I look at my heart rate monitor, and my heart rate monitor is like 175 beats per second. Okay. I'm older, guys. My heart rate does not need to be that high. So the reality is that I have to slow down and I have to run my race. I cannot allow myself to be influenced and swayed by other people. And I can't compare myself to other people. And I think that's something that's really, really important to note, especially in today's age, this digital age, this modern digital age, where we all have access to, you know, these phones, and we see that other people appear to be living a certain lifestyle. And we feel like, oh my God, I should be living this lifestyle as well. But you have to run your race. You have to live your life on your journey. Okay. We all have a journey, and we have to figure out what that journey is for us and not focus on what other people are doing. Because the reality is that we really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know if that person's life that they're showing on social media, if it's even real. And you're feeling some kind of way about yourself for because you're looking and comparing yourself to someone else and you don't even know what their life looks like. Don't focus on other people. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Focus on you and figure out what makes you happy and pursue that. Whatever what other people are doing, none of your business. And then here's the third lesson that I would say that I think is important. And that last one is to be true to you. Be true to your values. That's important because today, what I realize is that I have not been true to myself. I have not been true to my values. One of the things that I value is health. It's important to me to eat healthy, to take care of myself, to keep my weight in check. And I really haven't been doing those things. And I'd been in a bit of a funk. And it's really because I have been living my life that's not in alignment with the way that I identify myself. And if we're not living our lives in alignment with our values, there's going to be a disconnect. And you're going to feel some kind of way about that. And that's something that I've been going through is that I've allowed myself to get overweight. And for someone who has really never been overweight in their lives, that's a really big deal for me. So, because I value health and it's been a journey, it's been a little bit of a struggle. And that's why it's so important that we live our lives in alignment with our values. And the same is true of our money. When we can spend our money in alignment with what's important to us, that's where your true fulfillment lies. That's where you really feel good about yourself. This is important because we live in this age that tells us that in order for us to be happy, that we have to spend money on things that really don't bring us happiness, but we're not thinking about that. We're not thinking about that in the moment. In that moment, our emotions are driving our decisions, and we feel like, oh, I need this. I need this thing. I need this new home. I need this new car, because I want to feel better. But that's not how it works. In order for us to be happy, we need to understand what is it that really makes us happy first. And one of those things that makes us happy is when we're living in alignment with our values, when we're living in alignment with the things that we say is important to us. And when you can spend your money in alignment with the things that you say is important to you, that is where your true fulfillment, your true happiness, that is where that lies. So, those are my 3 lessons today, guys, that I wanted to share with you. One is to prepare. Whatever it is that you want in life, prepare for it. The second thing was what was my second thing? Oh, I also talked about milestones. Make sure that when you're setting your goals that you establish milestones along the way. You need those mile markers so that you can stay on track and you know that you're moving in the right direction. And then the other thing was run your race. Don't worry about what other people are doing, the way that they're living their lives. Worry about what you need to do so that you can achieve your goals. Okay? And then the last one I said was be true to you. Be true to yourself, be true to your values, and live your life and spend your money in alignment with what matters most to you. All right? Well, that's it, guys. I have 2 more lives that I have to do before Monday. I'll see you again soon. And in the meantime, you go be great today. Take care.